Okay. So Brahmananda and I, we had 17 years difference. He was 17 years older than I was. So you want to go to the next picture? Mm-hmm. As a baby. Go ahead. Oh. It should... if you just push on the arrow, it should go to the next one. Yes. Okay. Go ahead. Mm-mm. Yes, that's why I put that one in there. Can we do it from the computer? We can just click right arrow. Yeah. Yes. Excuse us, technology, even though we're out of Mercury retrograde. Mm-hmm. So while we are waiting, I'm just going to read a short little poem I wrote to Brahmananda. A diamond is always a diamond, even when buried in mud. A rose is always a rose, even when it blooms late. The sun is always the sun, even when covered by the clouds. Dear Brahmananda Prabhu, we're here today to explore the many facets of your personality, to enjoy the aroma of your devotion, and to absorb the brightness of your love for your most beloved Srila Prabhupada. And since we're still waiting, I'm going to make good use of time. I'm just going to tell you a quick story. Years ago, I was in front of the temple here with Vishal Prabhu from India, and I knew him from way back then, and we were talking about different things, and all of a sudden, he looks at me and he says, Prabhupada said, intelligent people speak slowly. And when he said that, it just really kind of, I just remembered it because I don't know why in France, French people talk very, very fast. Bonjour, ça va, comment ça va, blah, 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 like that. It's really the way it goes. So I remember that. So I can tell you that Brahmananda spoke slowly. So that means he's intelligent. And I can also tell you that Giriraj Maharaj speaks very slowly. So that means he's very intelligent. I had to think of you, Maharaj. Thank you so much for coming. It really means a lot to me. So, well, I'm going to continue some of the things. I woke up on Sunday morning, and Siddhanta Prabhu had just found out at 6:30, and he had called me first thing. I was in the shower. I didn't get his call, even though the machine was blinking, but I got a text. And this Prabhu Kripa from Florida, he was saying, Dear Vaikuntha Priya ji, I'm so sorry for your loss. So I'm looking, I say, Vaikuntha Priya, that's me. Loss? I don't know what he was talking about. I'm offering you my condolences. I will be praying for you. And I was looking at the text, I'm thinking, what is he talking about? And he was saying different things, and all of a sudden he's saying, Brahmananda Prabhu was such a great soul. And as soon as I read that, wow, immediately I knew. So I went to the answer phone, played Siddhanta Prabhu's message. Vaikuntha Priya, it's Siddhanta here. I need to tell you something, Brahmananda, call me back. I was like, okay, that's it. So I was like really, really frantic. And I called a few people. Get in touch. I called you back, so I got more details. But that's basically how I found out. And we've been divorced for so many years. Honestly, I did not think it would affect me as much as it had. But somehow it just cracked me open, and I just was reliving. It brought out so many memories, and I guess there's no such a thing as divorce. Once you've loved someone and you care for them and you had a connection, it's always there. And also, it's very, very hard to forget Brahmananda, no matter what. So, Maharaj, how am I doing without speaking slowly? Okay. I was thinking I might not be able to follow in your footsteps, but maybe I'll follow Brahmananda's footsteps. So, are we good with that? Almost, okay. So, I was always wondering, because he was in India, I was in America, how Brahmananda would actually pass away. And when I heard that he went so quickly and rather peacefully, I was actually very happy. Instead of having to linger for months or years with a sickness or disease or whatever. And as big as Brahmananda was and strong and everything, he didn't like to be in pain. So I was very happy that it was really a quick affair, and he didn't have to suffer for a long time. It's obviously a privilege to be here in front of you today and share my life with you, with Brahmananda. It has been a great purification as well. This week has been very intense for me. There's so much to do. You get the news, you go in shock, you're crying, and then I had this ingenious idea to put together this program on top of it. So, yes, thank you. But in the moment, I didn't get a chance to really, process the loss. Right away, you have to go to work, and so much to do, and so very little sleeping. So today, I hope my thoughts will be composed and everything will make sense. I didn't get a chance to really, prepare too much, but I think things will come out. So I think they're ready. We'll continue with the slideshow. Go ahead. Go ahead, yeah. So the first few pictures, maybe you can go a little bit faster, and then I'll tell you when to slow down. You can hear me? Okay. Okay. This is with his mother, Kay, and it's a beautiful photo. She was very beautiful. Go ahead. Brucey, she used to call him Brucey, and it was really, really funny to see Kay, 70-something, and he's like 50-something, because we all live together, and I will tell you about that later. She would go, Brucey, 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 and I'm watching the whole thing, big Brahmananda, and then she goes, Brucey. It was really funny, so go ahead. Oh, Brahmananda. Gargamuni, the second born, Brahmananda was the first son. He was her firstborn. Gargamuni was second. Go ahead. And the third one on the lap is Cynthia. That's the sister. So the three children altogether. This is Brahmananda. Brahmananda is to the left with the mouth open there. Yeah, yes. Cake, his favorite food. Oh, go back to this one just a second. This was, okay, Kay, and this is the father, Erwin. And Brahmananda looked just like his mom. Gargamuni looked just like the father. And I remember when we were living together, Gargamuni would ask me always, hey, who do you think is most handsome, Brahmananda or myself? So it was really funny. Go ahead. So they're celebrating Christmas. I will clarify that for you. The father was from Austria. He was Jewish, but wasn't a believer, did not identify, did not practice. Kay was Christian, Eventually, down the road, she converted to Judaism, and she was a very religious, very, very spiritual person. And anyway, but they were celebrating Christmas. So in the middle, that's Brahmananda's father. He was a very wealthy man. He was a businessman, a millionaire. And but Brahmananda, based on what he said to me, didn't have a good relationship with the father. They were like, you know, he said my father was strange. He would walk around the house, I guess not always, but he told me a few times, with like a gun in his pocket or in his underwear, and he said that was just so scary. And when the father would come back from work and they saw him arrive, they would just run back into the bedroom, you know. And to that effect, when Brahmananda Prabhu shared his life with Srila Prabhupada, Prabhupada told him, because it was difficult, he said, because of your family life, you have become a devotee. So when Brahmananda heard that, he felt like it was all worthwhile, because at the end, I have Srila Prabhupada and I'm a devotee. So Prabhupada gave him really like a new way of looking at it, a paradigm shift, so it was extremely relieving and helpful to him. That's, yes. Here we go. You can see how they misspelled Prabhupada in the early days. They put the H before the... Very nice. Everybody's there in that photo. Jai. Yeah. There you go. That was his favorite picture. Gagamuni is there, Brahmananda is there together. Love my favorite photo here. I just love it. Oh, that one too. That's when he returned from Africa. He was getting big. Okay, this is in Vrindavan in 1986, with all the French yatra. This is another quality that I really love about Brahmananda Prabhu. He was for the people. We'll talk about other of his qualities, but he was mingling with everyone, new, not new, man, woman, old lady, important, unimportant. It didn't matter to him. He was very approachable, and he really, really cared about everyone. They had lost, you know, Bhagavan left, so it was a big mess in the yatra, and he was there for them, wanted to make sure they're okay, talking to them, asking them questions, guiding them, like the solid rock, the pillar, the big brother that was going to be there to help them if they needed it. And they just all took, you know, they just loved him. So that's just at the Jamuna River. This is our wedding in 1987 at Radha Damodar. So when Sitala, his wife, came to our wedding, and when she came and she saw Brahmananda like that, she bursted into laughter. She said, I will never see anything more funny than this. The small hat on the big head, and she was just giggling like she couldn't, you know. Go ahead. Look at this. Brahmananda was always ready to play the part. This photo is in Holland. We were in Holland for 1 year, and we installed Gauranitai at the temple there. This is Ananda Sarup Maharaj, who is a Prabhu now. Again, we had lots of students coming, so we would do extensive preaching in Holland. That was the... And we did also a lot of home programs. This is Budara to the left. Budara Prabhu, proper disciple as well. That's his daughter. So we were going from home to home, doing a lot of home programs. This is in Mississippi and Nityananda's, when we were in America together. Okay, pause for that one. This is, we went to visit Bhagavan in 1988. And again, that's Brahmananda for you. Bhagavan had left. He didn't find any fault with him. All he was thinking is like, how is Bhagavan doing? And he said, we're going to go and see him. So we stayed with him a few days. All he cared to see, how are you doing? He wanted to spend time with him. So we stayed with him. That's his home. And he was just very caring. I mean, he himself has changed his ashram. So he knows how embarrassing things can be. And he's just very, very caring and just very kind. And so I wanted to include that in there so you get an idea about who Brahmananda really was. Oh, okay, this is in Washington, D.C. We are not trying to get a new political party. We were helping the temple because we lived in Washington, D.C. Every year on the 4th of July, they have tables all over and they sell T-shirts to collect Lakshmi for the temple. So we said, yeah, we'll do it too. So when I put this photo there because I was thinking, look at Brahmananda. I mean, look at him, he's all dressed up with his little hat and the T-shirt. He's just ready to play the part. And I was thinking, who else would do that, It's just so adorable. So, and we actually did very, very well. Well, I just wanted to put that in there because Brahmananda had a great sense of humor. He was very jolly. He loved to laugh. He loved to, crack jokes and everything. And today, I also really want to invite you, whoever you are and who's sharing, if you have stories of him that are just like funny, whatever, please don't hesitate to tell them because it's a memorial. Don't think it's inappropriate. Brahmananda would love it. I know him. He loves to laugh and he doesn't take those things in an offensive way. So... wow, Jai Brahmananda. He was very happy there. This is at his aunt's house in Queens, in New York, when we moved to America in 1988. Go ahead. This is Brahmananda, myself, his mom, Kay, his aunt, which is the sister of Kay, and the cousin, which is she's the daughter of the... there. Okay, this is Brahmananda, very happy with his champagne gopi. And this is when we get married. We get married in Vrindavan first, fire sacrifice, and we did the legal service in Connecticut, Hartford, Connecticut. That was the house of the, whatever you call that person who does the legal, whatever, who married us legally. Okay, this, I believe it's when we're in Virginia, but I'm not sure. So, Brahmananda was very happy. Okay, this photo. Okay, from right to left, myself, Gargamuni, Pushta Krishna, if you can see him with his two kids, his wife and Brahmananda. They came and stayed with us and they visited, because they go way back then. So it was a great reunion. This is Gargamuni with his son Raphael. In Virginia, we all live together. This is in Culver City here at my place. Brahmananda is in the corner, and Nistragunya, Siddhanta, and then Uttama Shloka, who now moved to Costa Rica. Here in this very temple, Brahmananda bathing Srila Prabhupada, they used to live right across the street. They stayed here for a few years with his brother Gargamuni. Now this photo, that's what Satyaraj sent me. This is about 4 or 5 years ago when he came last time to renew his visa. So he was staying with actually Rukmini and Badran. They're always the one who host Brahmananda. And this is the time where Brahmananda spent hours and hours with Satyaraj, sorry, and told his stories, his memoirs or memories, and he recorded everything. And Satyaraj, on behalf of Brahmananda, wrote the book Swamiji. So this is when they were doing that, and so I want to say thank you to Satyaraj really for doing that, because otherwise we would have not had a book, because Brahmananda just didn't have the wherewithal to actually sit down and be tedious and, and take the time to actually write it, so he offered to do that. And his wife Vrinda also, and then, Badran and Rukmini, who took him in and took care of him so nicely, even though he's always breaking all their furniture. which is a Brahmananda Leela. This is in Vrindavan. You recognize Satyaraj and Dinabandhu and Brahmananda. Again, that's another photo at, I believe, Badran's house. Yeah, or Satyaraj, I'm not sure. Okay, these are my Krishna Balaram deities. Can you go back once? Okay, this is in my house right here in Culver City. I've had those since 1999. The reason I put them at the end is because Brahmananda and I, which you will know very soon, we met in Vrindavan at Krishna Balaram Mandir. And the last one is a close-up of my Balaram, most merciful, the original guru, which that's what Brahmananda was for me. So here we are. So, I'm not done yet. I'm not done yet. I'm just beginning. Sorry. Can you hold the lights, please?